Hi, I'm Jean. I'm Jean. And we live in Buckland, a nice, quiet, mostly retirees area. And not necessarily a very demanding place to live. But we try to look after our immediate neighbours, and one of them in particular can be quite demanding. You have to work out your exit line, but we've been able to give her some time. But also we have somebody very close by that we've known for almost 50 years. In fact, at one time, her husband was our minister. So we've known her for a long time. And so I've made one of my responsibilities going to see her for however long that takes, every other day. It's not a chore because she's a lot of fun as well and crazy. So that's quite nice to do. The other thing I've done that has taken time is write to members of my family. Now, I'm part of quite a big tribe. I have 7 brothers and sisters, and they're literally scattered all over the country. The nearest one is way down in Cornwall, and right up to Blackburn in the north of England, and most other places in between. So I try to write to them regularly, and that keeps me out of some mischief anyway. On one occasion, we had a really nice surprise visit from 2 weary cyclists that you might know, but I'm not going to tell you who they were. And that was very pleasant. It's that kind of little surprise that makes a lot of difference to the day. I've walked every day, and if Roger walks with me, we go somewhere more interesting than the streets around Buckland, and that's been very nice. We can take a trip in the old car and stay safe and clear of problems. And I love travelling in the old car. It's a bit posy, you know. You can wave to people who ooh and ah about the car. I expect it's sinful as well, but anyway, I love travelling in the old car. And on one occasion, for instance, we took a picnic and sat overlooking Burrator and Sheep's Tor. A wonderful, wonderful afternoon. I make greetings cards. If any of you are inclined to want to make greetings cards, I have a very untidy room decorated, given over to making the cards. So that's another thing. We have coffee with the family occasionally. Our son is on a ship in Rio at the moment, so we have FaceTime with him quite often. And that's obviously quite nice to catch up with him. And we're very concerned, really, about our friends in Nepal, because the way COVID is being managed there is different, really different. So, for instance, the police are on the streets with sticks. And if you go out when you're not meant to be out, you know all about it. One of our very dear couple that we know very well had 3 hotels, and they've had to get rid of one of their hotel, Beverly, our favourite one, and they've moved. They live in a street that has a lot of COVID cases, and literally the police won't let them out. But she's trying to run the other hotels, so to get out to get produce is obviously important. But life in Nepal is very, very hard. There's no social security, there's no support at all. You're very dependent on family if they have money, and if they don't work, they don't have money. So please pray for our very dear friends in Nepal. Sorry, I've probably said too much.
Lockdown hit hard. We're active people, and to be told you can go out once a day is quite constraining. But it opened all sorts of doors. For instance, I haven't done a great deal of walking, but being bloody minded, I thought, I'm only allowed out once, so I'm going to make the best of it. So I went out and I walked, and I discovered what fantastic walks and countryside there is in the heart of Eggbuckland. At the end of our street, I found the best show of celandines I have ever seen anywhere. They were absolutely stunning. Seeing things like that and meeting people on the street, even at a distance, was a really positive outcome for me from this shutdown. We understand that there are things that made our shutdown easier. This is one of them. In case you don't think so, she's an absolute gem. I went to Oxford, and the best thing I got from Oxford was this. No two ways about it. She is an absolute gem, and just having somebody there is important. I've got a sister, for instance, who's shut in on her own, so I understand something of how much more difficult it is if you are shut down on your own. Our family are brilliant. They're supportive. We know they're praying. They keep in touch. That's wonderful. We also understand that we are lucky to have a steady pension. Our generation is a spoiled generation. We don't have to worry about our income. We've got it. Just think of those people who lose their jobs and lose their income, who are going to be cut back to 2/3. It's not easy, and that alone is to give you mental stress. Most of the people I know who've got mental stress and debt, they go together. One triggers the other, I think. We have a superb window, and consequently we could see wonderful sunsets. We can see from east to west, but we can see stunning sunsets. Did you notice how they changed colour as the air cleared? How all the reds went down on the sunsets and the greens and blues came up. And those reds are back again now, aren't they? Because we're all driving round again. And I did appreciate the clear air. That is wonderful. What did I miss? Down there in the huddle room, there's a group of young people. Oh, how I've missed being with that group of young people. Do you appreciate the young people we've got in this church? They are fantastic. It's not the huge group that we used to have, but they are wonderful young people. Get to know them if you can. Support them. Encourage them. That's what they're doing to one another. And their faith is fantastic, and they live it. I miss the young people. I miss Buzzy Bees. I miss coming to church. I miss the organ, and above all, I miss the singing. Hands up if you miss the singing. Oh, you look at that. You don't need any more, do you? There is something very special, isn't there, being able to sing praise to the Lord together. Yes, I missed that. And generally speaking, I've missed people, house group and so on and so forth. One thing that really did strike me as good in the shutdown was the Thursday clap. Did you have a good experience with the Thursday clap? We certainly did. We got out and met our neighbours like never before. We actually had a guy who plays a trumpet, and he led us in singing on the celebration day. It was really something very special, and we've lost that, and we're not speaking to those neighbours like we were. Is there some way some of us one of us can see how the church could resurrect something like that. Get out among our neighbours the way we did then. If you can see a way of doing it, please share it with everybody. I just can't see a way of lifting that Thursday clap back up again. It's something that was so positive, and I know the neighbours appreciated it as much as we did. What other blessings? Well, more time for prayer. I've learned to sleep in the day and I can't sleep at night. But midnight here is the beginning of the day in Nepal. So I find myself praying at midnight for the folk in Nepal. Fabulous to share with them. It's really exciting to be able to share with them their new day. And the shutdown has given me more time to pray and to think. Other things it's given me time for, yay, cheese and marmalade toasties. Yay, yay. What else has it given me? Am I going on too long? I'm sorry if I am, but how can I put it? The most important lesson I've learned from the shutdown is that it is fantastic being a Christian. To know God is with us, to know his presence, to feel his joy and his peace, just to be certain in a world that is full of uncertainties. Look around you. What's the worst thing about COVID? Isn't it the uncertainty? I can remember back to the war. You were waiting. You could hear those planes coming. Where are the bombs going to drop? It's a bit like that. Where is COVID going to hit next? And in the midst of all that, you can say, my God is a great big God. He's in charge. He loves us. I can trust him. I can find joy in him. I can find hope in him. I find myself being depressed. I turn to God. He loves me. Yay! And the shutdown has brought me back to that. Sorry to go on, there's lots more I could say, but I'll shut up now. Bless you all.